And good morning. Welcome to a segment of Morning Coffee with Marcaida on a snowy Friday. It's actually snowing. Well, for some of you it's probably warm, but for me it's going to be a cold day. So, lessons from the forge. Recently, one of the hardest things about being a judge on Forge and Fire is when you have to relay the bad news that your blade did not make the cut. There are no sadder words to say that to, especially to people who've given so much of themselves to the show. It's hard to when you think about these blade makers and what they're doing, putting up all the work that you did in 6 hours and then you don't make it through. Some of the bladesmiths actually take it personally. It's very sad, because they pretty much feel like either they let themselves down or they let people down. Think of it this way. That's your perspective when something bad happens and where you're standing at. But also think about this. I wish I could tell, you're already a winner. Because for you to make it into the show, that means that we did research on your works. We were able to pick you out of a crowd of a lot. And you get to do this in front of millions. So you're a winner. We wouldn't put you there to ever disgrace the art of knife making. I'm just using this as an example. If that's your perspective is only from one vantage point. Well then, if it's a bad one, change your vantage point, change your perspective, get up. I bet you, yeah, sure, today I didn't make a good knife. Don't let a bad knife define a bad life. I heard that somewhere, don't let a bad day define that you had a bad life. It's not true at all. It's a bad moment right now. But if you change your perspective and realize that I got to do my passion on TV, that's a great thing. Maybe today this particular point is not the best moment in my life, but I bet you got people at home who love you very much. Big win. Always change your perspective and draw from other areas that make you feel good about yourself, because it's there. It's a matter of you changing your vantage point. Don't always stay in the line of fire. You're in the line of fire? Get up, get out. Get out of that line of fire. Learn to move around. Always think about that. You may feel bad about yourself in that moment. I'll bet you have a pet that adores you and thinks you're the greatest human that ever lived. In their eyes. Imagine that, the power of that unconditional love. You don't believe me? Take your dog, take your wife, put them in the trunk of your car, let it sit for an hour, open it up. Who's happy to see you? I heard that somewhere. I'm kidding. I would never do that. That's a great way to get killed. But think about that vantage point, right? It's funny. But always try to find things and see things from different points of view. This also goes back to what I was talking about yesterday. When we were talking about the trilogy of drill training in martial arts. Sometimes you're the feeder, that's a different field. Sometimes you're the receiver, accepting and redirecting, different field. And then you're an observer. That's the key point. Going back to that observing. When I get to watch myself from a different point of view, when I'm watching myself on videos, I see so much about my form. I see so much about my demeanor. I see so many things about myself that I would have not seen if I stayed only as a feeder and receiver and never changed my perspective. So try to think about these things. Get up, change your vantage point, change your perspective, and make yourself have a great day. Doug Marcaida here, Morning Cup of Joe. Good stuff. Weekend's coming. Give me a chance to at least find out what is that name of that knife. Thank you very much for all your comments. Keep bringing it up. I'll have this weekend to look it over, and I'll bring you the top 10 choices for that. Take care. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.